Hello, everyone, and welcome to this. We have a slow computer today. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Economics and You. I'm your host, Mr. Samuelson. Today, we're going to be looking at perfect competition, something that doesn't actually really exist, but we're going to look at the conditions that would need to be in place for a true perfect competition to exist. First, we need to understand market structure as a whole. There are four different types of market structure that you can find in different areas of the American economy. One of those is perfect competition, and that's what we're going to be focusing on today. But we'll also be looking at monopolistic competition, oligopoly, and monopoly moving forward. But let's look specifically at one of those four basic market structures: perfect competition. Perfect competition is whenever more than one business provides a similar good or service. We have competition. Not necessarily perfect, but competition. Those two products are going to compete with each other for your dollars. Now, in a perfect competition set, we have a large number of sellers, lots of them, and they divide a market so much that none of them holds a large share. So it's not like 50% of the market is Coke, and then we got Pepsi and Faygo and et cetera, all these other products out there. No, that wouldn't be a perfect combination because Coke is still the dominant member. In a perfect competition, there is no dominant force. It is so divided up that the market is shared on a small level with a huge number of firms. Now, there are 5 conditions that need to be in place for us to consider it a perfect competition market. Number 1 is that it has to be a large market. Okay, we have to be talking about lots and lots and lots of buyers and lots and lots and lots of sellers, not just one small product being sold to one small number of people or one big company that sells to everybody. Think about like the cable companies. That's not a perfect competition. This is a huge number of buyers and sellers. Now, number 2, you have to be talking about a similar product, okay? Product that does basically the same thing. Think about like toothpaste. That's the example I'm giving over here. Done so much with soda, it's time that we clean out our mouths a little bit, and we'll look at toothpaste. Whether it's Colgate or Aquafresh or whatever other product you're buying, it does basically the same thing. The third thing is easy entry or easy entry or exit from the market. That is that if somebody wants to sell a product, it's easy for them to enter into that market. It's easy for them to get in there. There's no barriers set, like the government has regulations and you need to be approved by the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, before you can sell this product, and there's a 2-year waiting list, and et cetera. Though that does not set up a perfect competition market. Okay, that is a barrier to entry into that market. So we need to make sure that there's virtually no barriers to entry. You can get right in. All right, 5 conditions continued. We've got our fourth point. We need to have easily obtainable information. Product information has to be really easy for buyers and sellers to get. This helps sellers know exactly what it is that they're buying and be informed as possible. The buyers need to have access to this information because it helps them to tweak and adjust their products and to have full knowledge of what their competitors are doing. 5th and final one, independence. We need to have all of our sellers in this market acting independently, not working together. Because if all the sellers in this particular market get together and they all agree, hey, we're not going to sell this product for below $5. Well, that's not perfect competition, is it? That's collaboration. That's collusion. That's people working together in the market to maximize their profits. And that's not what perfect competition is all about. Also, no price controls. We talked about price controls in a previous lesson, the idea that we would have price ceilings and price floors, a price at which sellers could not sell their good for more than the ceiling or less than the floor. We've got to get rid of those. Okay, that makes the market imperfect. That impacts our price, which impacts our supply and demand. So only supply and demand are allowed to impact the price in a perfect market. A market price is always at the equilibrium price because we've got that perfect competition. And you'll remember the supply and demand curves, and at that point where they meet, that is our equilibrium price. Now, because there are so many buyers and so many sellers, nobody can deviate from this price. If you go just a little bit above it, nobody's going to buy your product. And if you go just a little bit below it, you're not profiting and you're going to go out of business. Within this perfect market, you have to be at equilibrium. Now, wheat is a good example, and many agricultural products are here in the United States. We do a lot of agriculture and we're pretty good at it. But we'll take wheat as an example. So many farmers within the United States produce wheat. So many do that none of them can raise a price. They don't even get to control their own price. The market controls that price. We find out what supply is, what demand is. We find out what the equilibrium price is that way. And if you deviate from that at all, you're in trouble because nobody's going to buy your wheat. You go to a central location and they tell you what the going rate is. And that is what you sell your wheat for. Now, this price covers the farmer's costs. Okay, otherwise farmers would all go out of business, and generally allows for a small profit, because if there was no profit whatsoever, nobody would ever farm, right? That's the profit incentive. You have to be able to earn some profit. But the profit for farmers generally is so low that it's just a little bit above a livable wage. And that's the deal that farmers have accepted. And that is how we get our food. Now, the consumers benefit from this because the price within this market, the wheat market, or any perfect competition market, is so low that it really does represent the true cost of a product. We are paying for what it takes to prepare the soil, grow the wheat, harvest the wheat, ship it to the store. That is all we are paying for when we buy wheat. That and a teeny profit that goes on top of it. So that's an example of how agriculture serves an example of a near perfect competition. That's all for this lesson in Economics and You. I hope you learned something today, and farewell.